Right, I'm here with Elijah Dow. We're about to go ahead and get a little workout in, a little talking about entrepreneurship, spirituality, motivation. I want you guys to learn about his story. And Elijah, if you can introduce yourself to the people right here.
Yo, what's up? I'm Elijah Dow. I'm an artist, producer, videographer, and entrepreneur. And my main focus here is connecting with my boy Elijah, get to talk a little bit about what we believe in, what we're trying to put out to the world, and hopefully you guys enjoy.
Absolutely. So I want to get into it. We'll get into the workout, and we'll be talking in between sets, covering all these topics: fitness, entrepreneurship, motivation, and I think it's going to be a really good time. Be along for the ride here. Hopefully you guys learn something. Let's go.
Just like literally just imagine like the time lapses. Like I'm talking like right now, whatever. I look what I look like, you know. I feel like I look good up here, but down here it's a work in progress. But imagine like, you know, the time lapses between what we're doing now and then when we're like pulling up in the Bugattis. Like you feel me? And like, jacked, like looking
Absolutely.
Real nice.
Bro, I mean, I feel like how we progress in our physical form, it's directly related to our business, how we're doing in life all around.
Yeah.
So this is just the first part. This is where it starts.
Most definitely. I feel like every time that I'm in the gym consistently, I feel like my mind feels better.
Oh yeah.
I can calculate my music a lot better. I work on a lot of video projects a lot with a lot more tenacity. I feel like working out gives you a better drive. When you're not doing something constantly, you're really not, like, you just don't have willpower. You know, this builds willpower.
Yeah, this builds willpower, and it sets that structure and that regiment. You know, all right, I got the gym, I'm feeling good, and then I'm about to go knock out some beats. I'm about to go crush it in life, you know? And so you just feel like, all right, I did something good. This is positive momentum. You know? Break it down for me, Elijah. Like, how did you find yourself coming to a place where you were like, I want to be an artist, producer, videographer, I want to make music? Like, what was the moment where you were like, this is what I want to do with my life?
The reason why I've decided to garner all of these skills, not just stop at rapping, not just stop at production, but hit the rap, the production, the videos, entrepreneurship, is because I don't have to rely on anybody.
Yeah.
I know that right now, if I wanted to put out an album, right, and I wanted music videos done, and I wanted production done, and I wanted mixing and mastering done, I don't have to worry about nobody at all.
Self-reliant.
Literally, I don't have to worry about anybody. Even if it's cover art, I dabble a little, you know, I'm not a graphic designer by any means, but I can get things done where they need to get done. Mm-hmm. And it saves you money, because like we talked about before, money isn't the only thing that you can invest in yourself, but it's an important part. You have to drop money on yourself. Yeah. So being able to not spend that money and put the money into like better equipment, like spending $3,000 on a computer, a camera, spending $1,000 on an interface, as opposed to spending $1,000 on somebody mixing and mastering my album when I can just learn how to do it myself.
So the reason that you found yourself being someone who is the jack of all trades, to use your term, someone who is kind of dabbling in all these different areas, not just saying I want to be a rapper, I'm going to only do that, was because there's this underlying tone of self-reliance where you're like, I don't want to ask anybody for anything. I want to learn how to do this so I can, I'm the limiting factor. If I need something done, it's not, I have to wait on that person. But kind of getting back into like, what was the reason that you decided to rap? Like, when did you know this is what I want to do? I want to be an artist.
I started rapping when I was around 12 years old because of how I was growing up, because of the circumstances that I had around me. You know, my mother wasn't really in my life, and I didn't have the best relationship with my father or my stepmother, so I needed an outlet. I needed a positive outlet. And I remember there was this one counselor at my elementary school that I used to always talk to, and she told me, you know, it really did change my life forever, but she told me, you need a positive outlet. You know, you need to stop doing this dumb stuff at school. You need to stop messing around, stop fighting, stop skipping class because of what's going on at home. You need a healthy outlet. And I was looking into healthy outlets, and sports and music has always been a very important healthy outlet for me. Music, thankfully though, is something that I've ran with, you know, all the way to the end zone. It seems
that I love that. I love to hear that, because one of the concepts that I've been exploring recently is that everyone is a creator, right? I think that everyone is a creator, and we're all supposed to create something. We're all supposed to have some type of art form, whether it's music or whether it's a podcast or whether you know, it's something that you're writing or through the business that you're creating. And so one of the things is I realized that stagnant creative energy, and you know, this is shout out to Danny DeBrito as well on this. There's stagnant creative energy that when we're not using it, or we're not using it to create something like art or sports or anything like that, that it has us kind of pull us into vices, drugs, smoking, drinking, partying. Like we need to do something. We need to create something. And if we're not getting the dopamine or the fulfillment from those creative efforts, our brain and our body is going to find a way. So like we need to stay in motion. Like they say, idle hands do the devil's work.
I do.
So like, I think that's an aspect there where you literally are like kind of a living example. You're like, bro, I have to do something, because if not,
bro.
Yeah.
I got to, especially with my environment, where I'm coming from, bro.
Yeah.
Where I'm coming from a family, you know, where people are using drugs, and I'm coming from this this area that I live in, where all there is people selling drugs, people doing drugs, people living in poverty. None of it is worth being a part of.
Yeah.
But transmuting that energy, I really like that word.
Transmuting, yeah, that's
transmuting
a good one.
is a big word for me. Transmuting all that trauma, passion, trauma and pain into passion.
Yeah.
Making sure that no matter what I got going on around me, I don't have idle hands, because they will do the devil's work.
Hop in here, dude. And that's one of the things that I've seen in your music as well. Is that one of the things I've seen in your music is that you have the passion, the intensity, the veracity. Like the words come out, and you could tell that you've really lived this stuff, you know. And so I think that's definitely, you can feel it translate, and why I think you're gonna be successful in this, bro. Because you are raw, like you're speaking about real stuff.
Yes, sir, I appreciate that. I'd say, you know, when it comes to my music, I don't do anything else other than what I feel is right.
Yeah.
And I'm really big on authenticity. I'm really big on making sure that people know that I work hard, you know, really. Yeah. I guess you would say, like, you know, talk your shit. I really like to talk my shit and let people know that the underdog wins. The underdog prevails if you really just stick to shit. You know, especially in this city, you know, growing up, there's a lot of people who laughed at me, who didn't really believe in me, who didn't take me as seriously. But it's like, when I get to talk my shit, and I get to say, like, yo, like, I'm really passionate, I will have this, I will have that, and then I put in the work to back it up, it's just all a recipe for success.
So one of the things that, like, I think is super important is, like, what's your why with it, man? Like, why do you do this? Now, I know that there's a creative outlet, I know it's something that you feel called to, but like, what's the end goal with it, you know? What are you trying to pursue? What does a successful Elijah Dow look like?
Man, he looks great. He looks amazing. Amazing. No, but really, my why is change. I feel like everybody's so scared of change. Change is the most beautiful thing that you could ever embrace. Change is amazing because it brings you to new places that you've never been. Being stagnant is not okay. It's not good. So I want to change. I want to change my family's life forever. I want to break generational curses. I want my family to never ever be poor again. I want my family to never have to settle for lesser education ever again. I want my family to never be addicted to drugs again. I want my family to live the life that they deserve to live. The reason why people get stuck in these generational cycles, you know, is because they don't have strong enough willpower to break the chains that are over them. Like, willpower is a crazy thing. I actually have conversations like this all the time, like with my buddy XYZ Bermuda. You know, he's an artist, and he thinks a lot like me, you know, and we have these debates all the time where we're talking about, like, well, not everybody's born the same. Not everybody has the same hand. Well, I believe everybody is born with the same chance and the same ability to gain the skills necessary.
Especially nowadays, right? Like in the past, people were living in areas where they didn't have opportunity. You can understand, right? But obviously, someone who really wants it, you want to move, you want to hustle, you want to try and get that networking opportunity. Right. But nowadays, man, when we have so much available online, like one of the aspects that you talk about is family. One of the things that's important to me is like this concept of becoming a man that's going to protect and provide and take care of a future family.
Right.
And I see now, like, I'm so blessed actually, bro, that I didn't have this fundamental concept of like a dad that I wanted to look up to and be like.
Yeah.
Because I know that so many people get stuck like trying to aspire to be like somebody else, trying to be like their dad or trying to make them proud. It's like, didn't really have anybody there that I wanted to like, that was the person, that was the pinnacle of my success. And so I was fortunate enough because I got to piece together this archetype of a dad, this archetype of a man that I wanted to be. And that was Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan, maybe a little Andrew Tate, right? Like all of these aspects of Patrick Bet-David, so many different like great philosophers and, Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius, like all these amazing concepts that I think help in the development of an individual and especially a man. And I got to make this archetype of like what I thought a good man could be and trying to bring that man into reality, And so sometimes when we come from a place of not having that example, we're actually fortunate enough because it's like, bro, you get to build exactly the man you want to be and live exactly the life you want to live. And like,
Yeah, crazy what you're saying is, it really just circles right on back to there's a positive in everything, no matter what the situation is. You don't have a dad, you don't have a mom. There's positives in these situations that we have to find. Like you said, you get to build your own archetype.
Yeah.
You get to really invest your time and your energy into building the best self that there is possibly.
Yeah.
And, touching on what I was saying earlier, I wasn't just saying that, what I'm actually trying to get at is no matter your race, no matter your social economical background, no matter if you got one leg, if you got one arm, everybody has the same opportunity to build their mind in the same way, right? Obviously, background, what you're born into definitely does play a factor on the kind of money that you earn at first. However, everybody's mind is most important when it comes to building. You can build your mind. The mind is a high-grade military superpower, bro. Like, people don't understand this. Like, your mind is everything. And that's really what I was trying to say earlier, was that no matter who you are or what you do, you can build your mind to be the strongest weapon ever.
Yeah, well, I think it's like, you're not trying to be anybody else other than yourself.
Yeah.
You want to be the best version of yourself in every way.
Right.
Everybody has the ability to give this life their all. No matter if they have X, Y, and Z thing that sets them back, physical limitations, financial stuff. If you approach life from the aspect of, I want to be the best version of myself. This is what I have. These are the cards I'm dealt. I'm going to play it to the best of my ability.
Exactly.
Bro.
Exactly.
That seems to be the winning formula across everybody that you look at who's successful. People started with different stuff, different opportunities here and there. Everyone has the mindset of, this is my life. This is like taking that full personal responsibility. Like to quote Jocko, that extreme ownership aspect and being like, all right, I could sit here and be a victim. I could sit here and complain about all these things that I didn't have or somebody else had that, I didn't. And it's like, or I could go out there and try to be the best.
Right.
If I'm a motivational speaker, maybe I know there's the guy who doesn't have any arms or legs and he does motivational speaking.
Right.
There's people who have disabilities and things that set them back, but it's like, they're going to make sure that they're the best version of themselves. Having that mindset is what allows us to win. And then we do it through whatever we're creating. For you as an artist, producer, all the different things that you're doing, like that's how you're pursuing the pinnacle of your success, like expressing it through that creation.
Most definitely. Your mind is everything.
Bro,
I mean,
that's why we build it here,
Exactly. And I feel like that's so important to get your routines right.
Yeah.
To get your life right. Not only that, Not only that, don't do drugs.
Yes.
Don't do drugs. Don't drink alcohol. Don't smoke. Don't do those things, bro.
You were talking about don't do drugs, right? I think this is a great message to anybody.
Right.
But let's be real. These young men, right? As you're in the rap industry, right? Music industry, and like people talk about drugs, Future. People talk about all this stuff. What has your experience been with drugs, given that it's kind of an integral part of the things you're around, and how has your evolution, your relationship with drugs impacted your life, and how are we feeling about it now?
So, most definitely, like we were talking about, your mind is a superpower, and your mind is really your ticket out of any situation or in any situation. Drugs are the number one enemy to your mind. They're the number one enemy. Quite literally, they change the brain chemistry. They change your brain chemistry. They fog you over. Everything in moderation, they say is okay. Me personally, my personal opinion, I won't touch anything, not even in moderation, because I just don't agree with how it makes me feel. You know,
so in the past,
it goes from person to person.
Yeah. So in the past, your experience with it, like, I guess, what made you quit? What made you stop?
Well, I was smoking so much weed that, like, I started talking to God and being like, you know, I'd being so scared that I was gonna die, and being like, God, you know, if you just let me live one more night, I'll never smoke weed again in my life, you know. But just you know, like stuff like that. So it really
was your life better or worse when you were smoking?
It was worse. It was a lot worse because, like we were talking about earlier, what you surround yourself around is what you become.
Yeah.
So if you're just around, you know, here's one thing I will say that this is actually kind of like getting straight to the center of it. Drugs make you feel things. They're not reality. They make you feel things.
Yeah.
So when you're using these drugs and it's making you feel things, it's kind of like you got a compass that's like pointing you in the wrong direction.
That's a really good analogy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's like your compass is going like this, and it's like you're supposed to be going this way when you're sober, but you're actually going this way.
So you're literally giving an example that drugs are steering you from your natural course. Like,
they
you
really
know what
are.
you want. I know, I think it's Big Sean, or is it Big Sean or Logic? Stick to the plan.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
and in it, he's, you know, like, you got to like stick to the plan, like the voices in your head and all this stuff. You said that was gonna be the last blunt last time, you know. And it's like we often find ourselves in a position in which we're trying to stay on course, trying to stay diligent with our fitness, our producing, our content, our work, you know, trying to serve others, but the drugs kind of like holding the magnet to the compass, messing it up a little bit. And so you feel like you were, when you were maybe using drugs more or whatever, before you kind of said, hey, you know what, I'm not gonna do this. It was like basically steering you off path?
It was steering me off path, and I was way less productive. Way less productive.
Yeah.
Now I become addicted to work. Now I become addicted to waking up. Instead of waking up and looking forward to hitting a vapor or waking up and looking forward to smoking a blunt, I wake up and I look forward to making that beat.
Let's go.
To grind and get on that computer.
So that's that transmutation of that,
exactly.
That, like, creative, the desire to do something, to work, to breathe, to live. You're like, okay, I could be all up in my head smoking this weed right now, or I could be working and creating something.
Exactly.
Right? I feel like creation is cathartic. Like when we are making and producing, we're building stuff, that it actually allows our brain to have that same neurochemical sort of feeling of like productive, happy, positivity, you know?
Right.
So that's solid.
Yeah, most definitely. You get a lot of dopamine from producing. You get a lot of dopamine from finished products, especially if you're an artist and especially if you're a creator. You know, these projects are your babies. These projects are literally your creations, and any artist is to his creation as a father is to his son. Quote that, Elijah Dow. You feel me?
When did you get to the point in which you were like, you were addicted to the work and not addicted to the drugs?
Well, really, I stopped doing everything. I'm 22 years old. By the time this video comes out, I stopped smoking and I stopped doing everything at probably 18.
Yeah.
So.
Was there a moment that clicked when you were like, oh, I'm locked in now? What was the moment where you were like, I'm locked in, I'm done with that, you know?
Like I said, it was the anxiety attacks. I was getting a lot of anxiety attacks smoking weed, and it was wasting my time, you know? As a musician, as an artist, as a producer, as a videographer, I have to stay busy, you know?
Yeah.
I'm working on so many different people's projects at once, let alone so many other people's projects. I'm working on my own projects, you know? And in that, you find yourself like, well, am I really just operating off of feeling and impulse, or am I operating off of direction? Because as a man of jack of all trades, I have to have a direction, or else I'm cooked. I'm done if I do not have a direction. So my direction now is a lot easier to go with while I'm not high. Yeah. And it kind of clicked for me when I was 18. I was having all this anxiety, and I was like, bro, I'm literally sitting here wasting time. Thinking of things that aren't real when I could be grinding, when I could be locking in. Yeah. You know, I forgot what philosopher it was, but he says, 99% of human suffrage suffered is all in your mind.
Yeah,
it's all in your mind.
In your mind. Yeah,
all of it. All of the suffering is in your mind. You know, unless your arm is literally cut off, but most of the suffering is in your mind. So. Yeah. Well, that was a turning point for me, for sure.
So when it comes to in your life, now you're pursuing music, now you're working hard, you're grinding, you're kind of locked in. what are the things that you still struggle with? What are the areas that you're trying to focus in on in your life? Like just being real, you know, like we don't have all the answers, bro. Like we're all both trying to figure this out. Like what's an area where you feel like you're still trying to figure this out?
I could say, you know, still trying to figure out is probably health and probably nutrition. I feel like especially, you know, growing up in poverty, like it's not always easy to make the best decisions because you're not taught the best decisions, but it's not easy to make the best decisions when it comes to nutrition or it comes to health. But lately, you know, I've really been trying to make an effort to be like, you know, instead of candy, I want watermelon. You know, I want to make a smoothie, watermelon, cayenne pepper, like apple cider vinegar, like really get my gut health correct.
Why though?
You know,
why do you think that's important?
Because it makes you feel better and it makes you work harder. You know, if you're, like, for example, right? So I could think of somebody out there right now who just had McDonald's, maybe drank last night with the boys, right? He's going to wake up. He's not going to work as hard as me. And I promise you that. I really do not care how you feel about it. I don't care whose feelings get hurt. Real shit, come see me about it. I really do not care. You're not going to work as hard as me because your body and your mind is not optimized to. It's like, what, you think that your car is going to go further than mine if you put fucking cornstarch in it? If you put vegetable oil in it? It's not. But you got to feel your body is a car. You got to feel your body correctly.
Yeah, one of my favorite lines is Big Sean, one man can change the world. He's like, you can have all the drive in the world, but you still need gas, right? So as you're warming up here, bro, I think one of the big questions that I think a lot of people have, bro, and maybe something that I personally struggle with and curious to get your take on it is like, bro, you're going up against big artists, big producers, like, you know, really big people and celebrities in the space. Like, how do you kind of overcome that feeling of like self-doubt, you know, thinking like, am I good enough?
Let me explain something to you. Nobody works harder than me. Number one. Number two, every dog has his day. There's only a certain amount of spots in this game. So once somebody stops working, I'm already working hard every single day, as hard as I can. It's really like, you know, it's like a line. It's like, once somebody stops working their hardest, you snooze, you lose. I'm right there to take that spot. And you know, to answer your question on a deeper level, like, that really is my thought process on this. However, you know, sometimes you can be like, oh, you know, I feel like this person has this or this person has that. But you know, Teddy Roosevelt said it best, you know, comparison is the thief of joy. You know, you cannot compare your A to somebody else's Z and expect to be happy. So me personally, I just worry about what I got going on, tunnel vision. That's how I deal with it. Tunnel vision, locked in on my goal, locked in on the prize, knowing my why. You know, my why is to change my family's life. You can't change your family's life when you're, you know, when you're sitting there scrolling on Instagram being like, oh, but this guy has abs, how come I don't have abs? Oh, this guy drives this car, how come I don't have this car? You don't work hard enough for those things. They don't just get them by magic.
So it's like one of those moments where like you just came to accept like, if I want anything in this life, I have to work hard for it. And so
exactly.
I think that's a solid, good thing. And you know, it's tough to grapple with the two concepts of like, anything in life I want, I have to work hard to get it. And then there's like the concept of like, you know, manifestation and things where it's like, it doesn't always have to be so difficult, but rather it can be something where it's like, you're walking in full faith and belief. You know, you're doing everything that you can on a day-to-day, and like things will start to attract. You'll come into your life as you kind of vibrate at that frequency, as you're living and being that person that, you know, you kind of want to see in the world. You'll be able to have and attract good energy, good people. And maybe like you talked about when you were able to do, you know, that do the videography for that rapper that you had looked up to. You know, like I think that's a huge moment in your life. Like, was a part of it just all hard work, or do you think there was some manifestation and like something deeper to that too?
So I think getting your goals done and succeeding is a two-part process. The belief and the hard work. So when you're talking about the manifestation and you're talking about all those certain types of things, that is a huge part in it. And you know, I didn't mean to leave that out, but that's actually probably arguably more important than the hard work, because you can't start working hard. It's kind of like the compass thing, right? You can work as hard as you want. You can like you know, that's why they say work smarter, not harder. But you can work as hard as you want, but you could still be going in the wrong direction. It's if you truly believe and if you truly have a grasp on how important something is to you, that you can actually start heading towards that direction. So that's arguably more important. Probably the most important thing in life is believing in yourself and putting yourself in those shoes, in that resonate with your dream.
Yeah. Well, how did you, like, you come across as somebody who believes in themselves.
Right.
I could see that. I could see that in your music. I could see that when you're rapping and you're talking about the things that you want to get and the things that you're going to do, and you show it through your hustle.
Right.
Like, you're somebody who believes in themselves, right? How did you come to the place to believe in yourself? Like, did you ever struggle not believing in yourself? And then, like, nowadays, like, what is it? Like, there was a time in which you weren't working as hard as you were working now. Did you still believe in yourself then? Like, how did this self-belief foster? Because you are someone in their lyrics, and I listen to your music, I feel someone who believes in their dreams.
Right.
Where does that come from?
I really think it comes from being doubted, or people doubting me. It really does come from that underdog mentality.
Yeah.
It comes from living so many years where I feel like people don't believe in me. I feel like nobody's there for me. You know, and how I was saying, like, everybody, or earlier I was saying everybody has the same ability to garner that mental sharpness. But then how you were talking about, you're fortunate that you got to build that archetype for your dad. I got to build myself because I'm looking at the positive in every single situation. I was fortunate enough that nobody believed in me.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough that all this bad stuff happened in my life because it made me a absolute dog. I'm never giving up, ever. Even when I'm pulling up in Lambos, I buy my bros Lambos, my dad cars, take care of everybody that I ever took care of, and I still got in abundance. Like, I will never stop because it's embedded in me, and it's so engraved in the fact that I was once that kid that nobody believed in at all. Not a single person. Everybody laughed at, everybody joked, everybody had something funny to say. But, you know, shit ain't funny now.
So that's that alchemy. That's the alchemy of taking, like, that pain, that hurt, that suffering, that people saying that you couldn't do it, and you were like, you know what, I'm not going to succumb to this and fall under the pressure and prove them all right.
Yeah.
There's this aspect of, I'm going to utilize this as fuel to turn this into something that I can work hard, and then I see the fruits of my labor, and I'm proud of the man that I am because I'm doing this. I think there comes a point in everybody's life, though, and this is something I'm struggling with and grappling with now, is when do we get to the point in which we're like, okay, I proved them all wrong. Like, what else am I living for now, you know? Like, am I living just to prove all of them wrong? Or to prove, or to say, like, nah, you shouldn't have doubted me, like, you slept on me.
Right.
Or is there something where it's like, no, bro, like, fuck all that. I believed in myself from the beginning. I known this is who I am. It doesn't matter what you guys say. Like, what is it that you're striving for now? Like, is it pursuit of personal excellence to see how good Elijah Dow really can be?
That's really what it is. It's that avatar state. I'm really trying to master every single skill that I can just to see how good I can. This life is a game, bro.
Yeah.
This life is a video game. Like it sounds stupid to say that. It really is. Don't play with your life. You don't respawn.
Yeah.
But life is a game, bro. Real shit. Like,
it's the realest game there is, right?
It's the realest game there is. You got your currency, you got your XP, your years, you know, you got your level. Every single year is another level. Every single year you gain new skills, hopefully. You gain new knowledge, you gain new friends, you gain a new set of challenges. It's about how are you going to navigate yourself to becoming the best. And, you know, your what you were just saying, you know, that gave me some perspective, and it made me realize, you know, my entire why isn't because, you know, I was bullied or nobody believed in me. It is because I want to change. I want to change, you know, my family's lives. I want to change my life. But then, you know, like you're saying, you get to that certain point where, like, you've done everything. Now what are you doing it for?
Hey, bro,
it's a game.
Let me just tell you right here, right now, so you can have this on film and you can know this. Most of the things that people said about you, bro, you already surpassed a lot of that, bro.
Yeah.
I see your success. I see the way you're working hard. Maybe people, you know, you're getting the views and you're getting the notoriety and things like that. But I see in the music, I see what you're making and how hard you're working, bro. I see a lot of things that people don't see just because I know you. And, like, bro, you are well on your way to be successful, bro.
Thank you.
And if you can accept that, this is not something where you have to feel like you're losing that fire, but rather you're regaining a newer fire, bro. Something where you can impact people at a larger scale. Like this music that you're about to put out, you're being real and you're talking about the real things that you're going through. Not only are you going to help your family, bro, which I know is important to you, but you're going to help a lot of young men like yourself who were in a place in which they didn't know where to go in their life, and they were able to see you and see you change your life and see you work hard and produce and make good stuff for the world, and they have a role model to look up to, a role model that you didn't have, bro. Yeah. So right there, you're changing this shit, bro, for real. All right, that's real.
That means a lot, and that's why having these conversations is so important, man, because I did just learn, something, and I got a little perspective from you. It's important to, I guess you would say, kind of like upgrade your mind. And after all is said and done, and after I'm getting everything done that I said that I was gonna get, and
you are getting it.
It's really just becoming the best version of myself and becoming skillful. I want to be that old motherfucker in the corner of the room that everybody's like, how the fuck do you do this? At 9 years old, I'll be like, boy, because I've been doing this since I was 12.
I've been grinding, bro. All right, Elijah, I got a question here, bro.
Let's hear it.
You're in the space. You got a lot of beautiful women around you, bro.
Right.
Do you have a girlfriend?
I have a girlfriend.
All right, bro. Help the people out, man. Like, how is it staying loyal? How is it dealing with, living this life of being a rapper, artist, producer, videographer? You're in the mix, bro. Like, loyalty, fidelity. Is one girl the way to go? Do you have an open relationship? I don't know. Talk to us.
Yeah, I feel like one girl's the way to go, and it's all about how you select your girl, right? I feel like, optimized for me, this is the best relationship I've ever been in, because I can truthfully grow. I can truthfully go my hardest, and really just like sleeping around with a bunch of women and all that, all it's doing is it's just filling a void.
Did you ever have that past?
I did, yeah.
You had that? But hey, listen, I had that past too.
Yeah. All it does is fill a void that doesn't, it doesn't fill a void, is what I'm trying to say. It opens a void.
It's the same way with drugs, right? These are ways that we're trying to escape.
Exactly.
So what moment did it click for you when you were like, you know what, one woman is what I want?
Well, I feel like once I got into this new relationship and I saw the contrast in this relationship compared to other.
She's watching, by the way, so make sure.
Yeah, the other women that I've been with, even if she isn't listening or whatever, because she might watch or she might not, but the comparison in this relationship as compared to the last ones is it's like I feel my best. We're always talking about reaching your best version, right? So why am I gonna leave something that's helping me become my best version, that's really right next to me, like go hard, like be your best self, as opposed to constant nagging, as opposed to you can't go here because I don't feel like this, you can't go in these rooms because, man, I will never let a female control me, ever in my life.
You're gonna let nobody control you.
Never, ever. But I'll never let a female control me, because they say in the Bible and stuff like that, if the devil wants you, he'll send a woman. Mm-hmm. If the devil wants you, he will send a woman. Yeah. Really, women are the quickest way to destroy a man.
So many men, they've done the finances, they've done the networking, they know how to interact with men, they know how to fitness stuff and all that. But the one area where they haven't necessarily developed themselves is in their relationship with women. A lot of times what I feel is that relationship comes back to a deeper inner work of knowing yourself, of being confident in yourself, of believing yourself, and also believing in your dream and in your mission. A lot of times men will be out here and they're like, trying to lead a woman and trying to lead a family, and they themselves are led by what? Money, power, all these things. When you're led by that higher calling, when you're led by a faith or God or something that is like you want to do good for the world and you want to pursue this betterment of the world, and then you lead a family and then you're with the woman, then that's when you were like, you're never being thrown off your goal and your direction. And it's not like a female is going to sabotage you, but like if you don't have that straightforward line that you're pursuing, it's something that's going to get in the way. It's something that's going to sidetrack you.
It really will.
Everyone talks about locking in. The moment that I really locked in my life, and I still struggle with it, right? But like really when I felt like this is the most dedicated I've been in my life to pursuing something better, my dreams, my goals, is when I was like, you know what? I want that woman. I want my wife. I want that the best in every single way. So I have to be the best man in every single way.
100%.
And for right now, I'm not going to settle for people that are, something like tangential to what I want, or they have a couple of things that I want, or they just look, pretty in the moment.
Right.
I know exactly what I want. I'm pursuing that. I think that has been the moment of really locking in for me. So like with you, finding a good woman, like, has that been something that's been a benefit to your life, having someone who supports your dreams and goals?
That is something that's elevated me.
Bro, that's huge.
And I really,
I respect that. I want that in my life. That's awesome.
Yeah, bro. I can't lie and say, like, it's all me. Like, bro, there's days where, like, you know, like, there's days where I get sad. There's days where, like, even though I talk all this, like I really do live that. I really do live this extremely, like narrow path of just, I'm going to reach what I'm getting. But some days I feel some type of way. I get sad. I feel tired because I've been working 7 days in a row, no breaks. I feel tired because I'm driving back to LA, 8 hours on the road, 8 hours filming, 2 hours of sleep. Wake up, repeat. Like, I get tired, I get sad, and the woman is there to pick me up, you know? My woman.
She's there to believe, she believes in you. She supports you, and she's like, you know what, like, I see how hard you're working.
I love her for that.
Dude, that's amazing.
One thing that I want to say, I want to send a message to all you young men out there listening to me right now. If your girlfriend is in the clubs, get rid of her. If your girlfriend is out here hanging out with all these guy friends, get rid of her, because guess what? They ain't her guy friends, they just her toys. And that's just a fact. Y'all can feel however y'all want to feel. I'm just spitting the truth. And look, here's another thing, right? If your girl, right, is being a girl and she ain't being a woman, you don't need her on your team, because girls will try to drag you into problems. She try to make issues everywhere that you go. Start yelling at the waiter. Start you know, fucking with some dude in public, and now next thing you know, you gotta fight some dude. You know, she's making a scene, doing this and that.
Bro,
she feels some type of way about you. Get rid of them. They're problems.
That's the biggest point.
Get a wife.
Yeah.
Get a woman.
That's the biggest point you made, because reciprocate that, right? And exactly what we're trying to do as young men and people who are trying to pursue something. If you a boy, you know that there's people that are going to exit your life because you're not being mature, right? Exactly. And that's the biggest thing, is like, if she's a girl, you can't be with her. If you're a boy, then you're not going to see the success. You're not going to attract that woman, right? So it's about us leading from the front, becoming that man, and then that's how we can go ahead and attract that woman into our lives. That's my understanding so far. And like, it all starts first with us, because I feel that the man is the leader of the relationship. You know? So like, but I absolutely agree, right?
About it, but
let me just.
I just don't know if I want to say that on camera. Like,
you don't want to?
I don't know if I want to say, like, that I'm confused about my faith on camera.
Why?
Because I kind of am.
Bro, I think that's a huge thing.
But I'm not. But I am. But.
So like, let me just put it this way. Like, when it comes to like God, comes to a higher power, or a higher purpose in life, like, what do you kind of think of it as now, and like, how has that changed over the years? You know?
Yeah. I mean, growing up, I was super religious. I used to always go to church with my grandpa, and I believe that no matter what you believe in, regardless of if you believe in God, whether you believe in the universe, whether you believe in whatever you believe in, I feel like just having that principle and that aspect of, I'm living for a higher purpose, I'm trying to become something better, is always something great to have. Me personally, I believe in God. I pray to God. I feel like a lot of the things that I've been praying for / manifesting, you know, have been coming true. Everything that I've been asking for has been coming into fruition. But it's not only asking, it's knowing. It's not only asking, it's knowing. It's not just saying like, hey, like, can I have this? It's also saying like, I have this. Yes. I'm going to have this, or I have this already. Yeah. I resonate with that, and I put in the work in order to align with those things.
So an aspect of like prayer and connection to a higher sort of power for you is both a belief in something higher and simultaneously an aspect of like a manifestation or a prayer through the form of gratitude and visualization of what you have. Yeah,
not only that, but becoming the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
You know? That's the most important part for me, is that, you know, if I'm going to strive after goals and if I'm going to ask God to give me these things, you can't sit around and you can't expect him to just give them to you.
Got to meet him halfway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Meet him halfway.
There's that famous painting, you know, Michelangelo, I think, and you know, there's like God extending his finger, and then Adam is like right there. And I think that is such a powerful thing, because it demonstrates that like God is always there for us. This concept of like us being the best version of ourselves, stepping into, you know, the man that we want to become, that has morals, values, and ethics, that's always right there in front of us, and it's just up to us to put in that work to extend that finger and make them touch. And I think that's the concept of avatar state as a man or as a human being, is when you're able to connect with not only a refined physical, mental, then a refined spiritual aspect, you know?
Yeah.
So
I agree with you, and I think that the avatar state is obviously, you know, one of my biggest whys as well.
Yeah.
Is why I'm working so hard, because, like we were talking about earlier, after you know, I say all the time, I want to prove everybody wrong. I have proved everybody wrong. You helped me come to a realization.
Yeah,
earlier,
you did,
know?
bro.
I have proved people wrong, but.
And you proved yourself right the entire way, bro.
Exactly.
You've known this is you. You've known this is you.
But like, what are you doing now?
Yeah.
And what I'm doing now is reaching that avatar state.
Yeah.
Is becoming the best version of Elijah Dow that will ever walk the earth, you know?
Yeah.
And tomorrow's not guaranteed, and it's a very scary thing. It's a very scary thing to know that I could walk outside right now after this podcast and I can die.
So let me ask you that right there, knowing that. What do you want the world to take away from your life, bro? Knowing that at any point in time, we may walk outside and it's gone like that. Like, what is the legacy? What is the impact? What's the thing you want to impart on the world, bro? Because through your art, through the lyrics, through the music, through the interactions that you have when you're creating this, the people that you talk to when you're making videos and stuff, you are leaving a living legacy, bro. Every single person you ever touched via your music, via your art, via your interactions, has an image of Elijah Dow in their head, has something that he taught them, has a way in which he moved that was powerful, you know? So like, what do you want us to say on your headstone type thing? Like what is the legacy and impact you want to leave to this world? This is something I grapple with, bro. So if we're piecing together an answer, me and you are in the same boat right now. But it's,
no, I know exactly what I want people to know. I want people to know that no matter what you got going on around you, you can become the best version of yourself. It don't matter. It don't matter if you're down on your stomach, if somebody's stepping on your back, boy, do push-ups. Get ready to get the fuck up, because it doesn't matter what circumstances that you have around you, you can prevail, and you will prevail if you believe in yourself. I really do not care. I don't feel no sympathy for people who say, oh, well, like, I have this going on. I really don't give a fuck, because guess what? I have that going on too.
Say, right? How much stuff could you say?
You can say everything. You can look at anything negatively. You can look at anything negatively. I could say, oh, I don't want to do this podcast because I don't look good in this shirt. Oh, I wasn't talking as good as I can because I don't look good in the shirt. You know, people find things to complain about.
Hey, you look good in the shirt, bro.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Hey, by the way, am I sane? You feel me? It's my boy's brand.
There we go.
Hey, are you living to die or are you dying to live? Right? I mean, isn't that like kind of like just a psychological question, like something to think about? Right?
Yeah. So coming back to like the legacy you want to leave here, like what I'm hearing from you is you want to leave a legacy of determination, grit, resilience, that no matter what life gives you, that you will find a way to be the best version of yourself in every way.
I will. No question about it.
Let's go, bro.
And it's like, you know, 10 years from now, I know that I'll make myself proud. I know that I'll be absolutely, utterly jacked. I'll be driving any car that I want.
Yeah.
I'll be having a beautiful family, because it's not all about your cars and your houses. I'm going to have a beautiful family.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a beautiful relationship with my children and with my wife.
Yeah.
They're going to look at me as a man who provides and who respects them, as opposed to a man who is mad that he has to provide and is disrespectful to his family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are also things that are super important to me. It's not just about the money. It's not just about if I drive a Lamborghini. You know, what's more important to me is if my kids love me, is if my wife loves me, is if my uncle, you know, if he passes away, if he left the earth knowing that I loved him and that I appreciate the things that he did for him. It's more than just money, clothes, hoes, and cars, you know. It's about family, love, and legacy.
Yeah.
Really.
That's a huge one, bro. And I think so many times people, when we're rapping, we kind of rap about the aspirations and the hustle spirit, and like you're talking about things that, hey, I resonate with too, you know. I want to go and get it in life. But I think the biggest thing is, like, I've realized it's about the family, it's about the people I love, and it's about like being a man that I'm proud of. If my little brother said, I want to be just like you when I grow up, Elijah, I could look in the mirror and be like, I'm excited for that. I'm proud that he could do that, and I know that man that he would bring into the world, the man he would be someone of value, someone who's of good character, someone who loves and takes care of and protects those that are weaker. You know, like, that is so cool to think about, and like sometimes I feel overwhelmed with thinking that I can live up to that, but I think just staying the course and just continuing to pursue and better myself in every way allows me to be like, you know what, I'm doing my part to make sure that I can be a man who leaves a good legacy, so that if someone said I want to be just like Elijah, people could say, you know what, that's a good thing. You know?
Right.
And it's funny that we have the same name, you know, because
it is.
If someone could say that as an artist, you know, I want to be just like Elijah, like I'm hustling, I'm grinding, I'm working hard, I'm finding my opportunities, I'm providing value to people. Like you're out here providing free content and shoots so you can get your name in those buildings, you know, like, and that's something that as someone who's motivated to do anything in life, whether it's rap or whether it's a podcast or whether it's coaching or personal training or any of the things that we've ever done, videography, right? Like having that spirit of I will find a way and I will get it done and I will provide value and I will be a man who shows up and carries my weight and makes sure that I can add good to the world, add better, you know, that is freaking huge, bro. So when I listen to your music and I'm working out and I'm grinding, I feel that and that's that energy that brings me to life. I want to grind, I want to hustle, bro, for real.
Thank you.
So like I absolutely love it. And to anybody out there, please go check out Elijah Dow's music, man. This stuff is amazing. Like he is hustling, he is grinding. This is a man on a mission, and I see a lot of myself in that too. We have the same name, you know, and like I'm so excited and blessed to be able to know somebody like this who's right here hustling and grinding alongside me. And I know many of you are trying to work hard to grind and to hustle as well. And I don't have all the answers. We don't have all the answers, bro, but this is just what we're trying to show to about like, hey, we're trying to figure it out. What'd you pull from that?
Well, you know, don't test God. Like,
well, I think one of the things
shows you.
I think one of the things is this, bro. If evil exists, good exists.
Right. And so
if you know, like, well, that's what I don't want.
Right.
Let me go to the exact opposite of that. And what does that look like? And now you're creating the archetype of the man and the person you want to be by knowing, okay, I'm anchored and that's my south, so let me go north.
Right.
You know?
But what was crazy about that situation is he showed me good and bad. So there was that, and then there was also a guy, and he came out and he talked to me, and he started talking to me, and he's like, yeah, I'm an anointed pastor.
Wow.
And like he started talking to me about God, and I was like, this is crazy that I asked God to show himself, and I'm seeing the bad and I'm seeing the good, all in one place. So
bro, that's powerful.
That was powerful.
That's the duality.
And it brought me back to God.
Yeah.
And so lately,
huge, bro.
Asking God to give me, you know, to give me these things, to be like, hey God, please, because I do so many different things, right? So I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like, you know, like we were just talking about. Let God take the wheel.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, let me just throw things in his hands and see how it goes, right? And man, like,
how's life been?
Dude, I've been able to cop that brand new camera. I've been able to shoot videos for some of my favorite rappers. My music has been doing well.
Yeah.
Everybody wants my beats right now. Like,
let's go,
bro. It feels good. It feels good.
Let's go.
You know? So,
I love that,
but
bro.
I feel like that's because, and I'm being humble about it. I'm not trying to boast. I'm just saying,
hey, bro, but hey,
these are the fruits of the labor.
Yes.
That's what I feel.
And I think you're saying, like, when you're kind of putting things in God's hands, you know, for whatever that means to anybody. Like, for me, I have this concept of, like, surrendering to the will of my higher self, right? Like, this version of myself who is, like, the one who is pursuing good, who's doing all the things in life. He's waking up early. He's a man of competence and character, a man who is someone that, you know, I would be proud to be. I would be proud if my brother was. Like that will of my higher self, that voice that we hear in our heads. Sometimes people think of it as like God whispering to us. And I think for me, it's like that divine aspect of ourselves that we're able to listen to and surrender to. And that's when my life has gotten the best, bro.
Right.
Like just making this podcast here, being able to connect with you, so many moments in my life have been like, I don't know, but I'm gonna surrender to this. I'm just gonna trust it. And like, that's how I've met amazing people. That's how I've been able to help others. That's how I've been able to provide for my family and myself. Like, bro, that is so freaking huge, bro. So I'm excited for your success. I'm excited for everything to come, bro. All right, Elijah, as we're kind of wrapping up here, getting these last buys, curls for the girls, you know what it is. You know, I want the people to be inspired by the art and everything that you're producing and putting out the same way I've been inspired, bro. So let the people know what you got coming when it comes to new stuff, new music, and where they can find you, bro.
Okay, so y'all can find me on all social medias, official Elijah Dowell, and on all platforms where you listen to music, it's just Elijah Dowell, ElijahDowell. So you guys could check all the music out there. Make sure that you guys are on the look for new music videos. If it's not music videos of my own, music videos that I've shot for other people, as well as a new project. I'm gonna announce for the first time right here, you know, some exclusive stuff.
Exclusive.
I'm working on a 20-track album, mixed and mastered, produced by me, all the music videos by me. I'm really just trying to showcase what it's like to reach that avatar state as an artist. So yeah, I appreciate you having me, bro. I really, really like the message, and make sure you guys are already his audience, but if you're new, make sure you guys give my boy a chance. You know, he has a big message to deliver, and if you resonate with it, and take it to the house, because it's I resonate with it. And if any of my supporters are tuning in and watching, If you mess with me, you mess with him. This is the, you know,
Appreciate
this message right here. This message is something to live and something to die by. Become your better self, and all things come true.
Absolutely, bro. It all starts right here in the gym. Elijah, thank you so much for taking this time here to get this workout in and share with the people what you got going on, bro. And I want to say it again, bro. Super proud of all the hard work you're putting in.
Thank you, bro.
And I'm excited. We're about to run it up. Everybody out there watching, you got this. If you have a mission, if you have a dream, whatever it is, go after it, pursue it. Start in the gym, hard work, get it done. I know we don't know what's going on all the time, but stay the course.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
Elijah Robert-Mahdi Soto. This is Elijah Dow, and we out.